Hello, everybody, and welcome to IC Markets Market Commentary. My name is Tamar Mehr from Trade with Precision. So, US retail sales fell in July, but the most in more than a year. That halted a rally that pushed the S&P 500 to another all-time high this week. So what I've got here is the chart of the S&P 500 on the weekly, and we can see after a strong bullish candle here for the previous week, where we broke the level of 7,600, we can see that we mainly gone nowhere this week. So we ended up with a small indecision candle. If we'll take a look here on the daily chart, we can see that for the most part of the week, we just went sideways. Then there was a strong pop on Thursday after the market jolly with the CPI numbers, with the pullback coming in on Friday over consumer retail sales. So what I'm looking for here is a deeper pullback in the context of the daily chart. If we'll take a look here at the area where the market has pulled back into, just deep dive a bit into the 4 hours, we can see that we were just going sideways. We popped and then rejected that pop. And even though we are currently in the buy zone in the area between the 10 and the 20 moving averages, we can see that as the market went ahead and made this higher high, the momentum indicators started to push lower. So I first want to see signs that the buyers are returning into this market, and I'm looking for several areas for that. So if we go back into the daily, my favorite area for a potential pullback is to come back and test the level of 7,600 from above. And if we go back into the weekly chart, we can see that if and when the market will pull back into that level, it will also bring us closer into the buy zone on the weekly chart. Now, for intraday potential opportunities, the area that I'm looking for a potential bounce is the 77.50 area. We can see a bit of consolidation at that area. I'm not looking for a big bounce off this area. This is only for intraday, but for higher time frame opportunities, I am keeping an eye on the 7600 level. Next, I want to take a look at a chart of gold. So last week we looked at the chart of gold and I wanted to see the price pushing above the 4400 level, above this level of support and resistance, and the market has done so. Now we also have the moving averages 10, 20, 50 fanning and in the correct order for an uptrend, and very nice convergence on the momentum indicators. And the area that I'm looking for a potential pullback is the 4200. We can see we had a couple of touches on that level in the past, and even when the market will pull back into that area, it will release some of this overextension and bring us back into the buy zone. And if we'll take a look here on the weekly chart, we can see the consolidation for a couple of weeks here underneath this level before breaking sharply above it. So I like the idea of a pullback to test this breakout level from above. But if the market will not pull back all the way to the 4200, I'm looking for areas that the market could potentially turn at. And the first one is the 4300. We can see we came closer to that area, but haven't touched yet this previous swing high. But the next level that I prefer the pullback to, simply because this one has come close to a touch, is sitting down here at the 4250. It's the origin of this strong push higher. So around this area, I'll be drilling down to lower time frame and look for a change of trend and sign that the buyers are taking over the market. The next market that I want to take a look at is the ASX 200. So here on the weekly chart, we can see that while not a beautiful uptrend, we are still in an uptrend. We consolidated here for many weeks before popping to an all-time high and currently pulling back. If we'll take a look here on the daily chart, we can see that we are back into an uptrend on the daily chart and currently sitting inside the buy zone. We also have here convergence on the momentum indicator. indicators. So where the market sits right now, coming back into the previous swing high and sitting in the buy zone is an area of interest to me. But there's another level a little bit lower that I'm interested in. So if we'll take a look here on the weekly chart, we can see that we had a spike here before pushing lower. So anywhere between the area where the market sits right now, this is the previous swing high here, also on the weekly chart, and the level of 89.80 is the area that I am looking for a potential turn. Keeping in mind, however, that the market will still be overextended around this area and we could see a further pullback toward the area of 88.50. We can see we had a bit of consolidation underneath this level. It is not a precise level before breaking higher. When we broke higher, we did have nice convergence here on the momentum indicators for the upside. However, it's important to note that on the monthly chart, we currently have a rejection of this high and divergence coming in on the momentum indicators. So we could see that deeper pullback in the context of the weekly. Happy trading, everyone. Bye for now.